7 years. It's been nearly 7 years since the release of GTA 5 Online. And it looks like it'll go on for a number of foreseeable years because they plan to release this onto the PS5. Not only was it on the PS3 and 4, but they plan to release it on PS5, extending the game's lifespan. GTA 5 was once a very enjoyable game, but now it has seemed to fall from grace. And with this video, I wish to expose Rockstar as one of the most greediest game companies of all time. Now I have 3 problems: inflation, gameplay loop, and the toxic community. I will be addressing 3 of these problems and showing you why Rockstar is a piece of shit. Let's start with barrier number 1. There have been various updates and DLCs that have been thrown into the landscape of GTA Online that has changed the game forever. As a new player, you are very intrigued. You see all these sights and sounds, all these vehicles, all these guns, all these apartments, all these properties. You want to buy them all. The game is it incentivizes you a lot to do this. So, you probably have your eyes set on one vehicle or another. Let's take, for example, the Oppressor Mark II. Probably have been killed by it many times. So you pull out your phone, you check war stock, and you go under the price of the Oppressor Mark II, and it costs about $3.8 million. Now keep in mind, this is just the price of the bike. There are a total of 2 paywalls that you have to make before even buying the bike. The description of the price says that you need a terabyte. So you search up, how much does a terabyte cost? Well, terabyte costs about $1.3 million. But here's the catch. This is where the second paywall comes in. You have to get a nightclub before you get a terabyte. Well, let's give Rockstar some credit. I'll choose the cheapest nightclub. Now, these nightclubs vary in price, much like other properties in this game, due to its vicinity to the city. So, the cheapest nightclub is $1,080,000. So, let's add up the cost so that we can get a precursor of where we are. We are in a total of $6.3 million. Yep, that's to get a flying bike with rockets. And this does not even take into the account the price of the Oppressor Mark II workshop or the rockets themselves. There are several examples like this in GTA 5. This is not the only one. You don't believe me? Let me show you. So, let's say that you looked at the gun running DLC and you saw the heavy sniper rifle Mark II with the explosive rounds. So, obviously, as a player, you're intrigued because that seems like a very powerful weapon that can be used by you and I. So, you search up and you understand that in order to get the Mark II sniper rifle with the explosive rounds, you need a bunker. So, you get a bunker. Now, once again, giving Rockstar credit, I will choose the cheapest bunker possible, which is $1.1 million. Then you realize you need an MOC. Because you go into the bunker, there is no weapon workshop. You need an MOC. So you get an MOC. How much does an MOC cost? An MOC costs about $1.2 million. Now take in mind, this does not take into account the weapon workshop. So, how much does that cost? It costs $245,000. At this particular moment, you are in $2.6 million. And you want to know what's the final kicker? You can't even get it because the explosive rounds are locked behind research. What is research? How do you get research projects? Research is basically praying to Rockstar that you get what you want. You can't even choose what you unlock. You have to resupply your bunker multiple times in order to get the thing you want. And it's completely random. You may unlock a camo and then get another camo that you have to unlock, and you're still so far away from the explosive rounds. So, Rockstar says, hey, let me lend you a helping hand. You either have two options. You grind for hours on end, or you could skip that project for just $225,000. But here's the thing. You aren't guaranteed to get the project you want. So, you're going to have to skip multiple projects just so that you could get what you want. You could be really lucky and get it $225,000 on your first try. You may get really lucky. Or you may get to the very end at $11.4 million. This is not a fair system. This is a grindy system that is working like a mobile game. Rockstar, you are a AAA company. This is not how you design games. Pick your poison. You either grind or you pay. These are systems that are purposely put to hinder the success of players. And this is just one of the barriers in this game. There's a second one. So, we first have described paywalls. Now there's a second one. Time barriers, time walls, AGL, are artificial time lengtheners. Now, these time barriers and lengtheners were put in place so that Rockstar made sure that you, my friend, were not making too much money. Because, what, you made $1 million in an hour? That's too much money for you. So, let's bring up the bunker business again. As Afro mentioned, it takes a long time to resupply it. How much time? It takes about 2 hours to resupply your bunker. We're not even gonna go to restocks yet, because this is just to restock your bunker, just so that you can have a chance of either unlocking what you want or having bigger stock. How long does it take to refill stock? How long does it take to restock? It takes about 17 hours. 17 hours. 17 hours to restock. Now, this does not take into account the amount of time you have to waste to resupply. This scenario of 17 hours only takes in if you buy supplies. What do you get in return? Maybe $5 million, maybe $6 million, $7 million, hell, maybe even $8 million. No. Because you see, you're making too much money too fast if you're making, what, $7 million, $8 million in 17 hours? This game might not suck as much time out of you. What are you, stupid? No, you get $1.1 million. Now, to put this into perspective, because some of you might not realize how stingy Rockstar is with these payouts, that is $67,941 per hour. This is not how you design a business, Rockstar. You have to increase the payouts. This is not good enough. But if you still aren't convinced that time walls are put on purpose to hinder the success of this game, a second example. Doomsday heists. Now you guys, I can feel the aura. You know what I'm going to be talking about. There are 2 time walls that are put in place before you can even do the heists. There are preps that you have to do before you can even begin the setups that are put in place so that you don't do the heist. So there are 2 time walls. Now, I'm not complaining about setups, but rather the preps that you have to do before the setups. These preps that are just reskin missions from other DLCs, you have to do them before you can even do the setups? Excuse me? I can't even do the setups. I have to do the preps, then the setups. So, Rockstar says, hey, I can lend you a helping hand. You don't want to do these preps. I know you don't want to do these preps. So don't worry, Rockstar's got you covered. Of course, you could just pay for the preps. Okay, how much you pay for these? Maybe, I don't know, 10,000, 11,000? Not that much, hopefully, because, well, you don't want them to eat into the profits of you doing the heist, right? Right? Well, per prep, that's gonna run you about $94,000 per prep. Meaning, if you have 4 to 5 preps, they could either cost $360,000 plus or 450,000 plus. Even if you do a mixed variation where you pay for some preps and you do some preps, that is still going to eat into your profits tremendously. Rockstar is charging way too much. Is Rockstar doing this? What do they seek to gain? Don't they know that this will dwindle their player base till it's down to a speck? Inflation. What is inflation? Well, it's the third barrier that I have for this game. And inflation is what Rockstar has done to GTA 5 Online. Well, you see, as the price of properties and vehicles rose, payouts for jobs and other activities never really increased, thus making GTA money less valuable. Do you see what I'm saying here? Let me bring up an example. So let's say one of the highest paying challenges, the Criminal Mastermind Challenge, would net you about $10 million. Now, since I don't want to do the math, I'm not going to include the money from the rest of the heists, which are going to take the baseline $10 million. Now, as DLCs and other vehicles have been added, $10 million looks like less and less money. Let's take, for example, a helicopter, right? F1 Hunter. It costs $4,123,000. Now, that's just the base price, but there's another paywall. You have to get a hangar. And so, the cheapest hangar that you can get is a minimum of $1.2 million. That's not even accounting the $1.1 million price for the workshop. So right then and there, it's $6 million plus. And that's just for one helicopter that you want. Plus, you have to pay for the upgrades. You can't even get the upgrades for free. So already in, say, let's be conservative here, $6.5 million. That's 65% of your money gone. Is that a good deal now? The payouts need to be raised. But just can't really wonder why they would always do this kind of thing. What's their motive?
Okay, guys. Okay, I'm sure you all know why I called you in today, all right? Our business is not making enough profit. Do any of you guys have any ideas? I need them quick, okay?
But didn't we already make a profit multiple times? Or we have been called the most successful entertainment title ever.
Who the hell are you? Get out of my office right now!
Hey boss, I have an idea.
Yeah, what is it, man?
That's right. Keep the conversation flowing. All my months of planning count on this moment. I must go all in.
I think we should create businesses that the player can buy. We can hike up the price depending on the location, but we can make the payout low. This forces the player to buy multiple businesses in order to make profit. But we can't do this too fast. If we do it too fast, the players will see our intentions and try to leave the game. This has to be slow, methodical, and well planned out. What do you think? But how will you ensure that the players buy the businesses aside from just making profit? There's no other incentive. It's rather simple. We lock weaponized and armored vehicles behind these businesses. Everybody wants these vehicles, those weapons. This would kind of make a paywall. No, these are the ideas that this company needs, but I have one question. What do you seek to gain from this? I mean, I can't see how we're going to make money off of this.
I have to hit him with the stinger. This will land me the promotion. At last.
That's great. You know what? Because this will drive up shark card sales. They'll be forced. There's a paywall. Do you want this bike that shoots rockets? You're gonna have to get this bunker. Do you want this plane that drops bombs? You're gonna have to get this hangar. Do you want a tank? You'll have to get this facility. This is amazing. We could just create an infinite monetary cycle. This is revolutionary. We could just add more things to the cycle and just keep it going. You know what? I underestimated your usefulness. How does a promotion sound? That sounds great.
In a game like GTA 5, it's very important to have a meaningful grind. You don't want the player to feel like they're duped into buying something that's useless. Unfortunately, though, over the years, there have been many businesses and vehicles that have been added to GTA Online that feel one-dimensional and, in fact, useless. Most of them don't even offer any new experiences. Now, to give Rockstar some credit, there are a couple of businesses slash properties that have great experiences. But there are only two. Nope, not three. Only two that I could really think of. One, the Doomsday Facility, and two, the arcade. I want you to keep that in the back of your mind, stick that in, alright? Let's talk about all the other businesses. What do they have to offer? So let's check it out. Well, no really unique experiences aside from each other. They just want to make money. That's the main focus of all these businesses. Make the player money. That's it. No cool missions that you can do. Just, make more money. And you see, that's the problem. That's the only focus. The point I'm trying to get across is the loop of businesses is meaningless. It's repetitive. What are you exactly trying to accomplish here? You're going to grind out the jobs of other businesses so that you could buy another business to then do the same thing to buy another business? That is a meaningless loop. So then you can afford to buy cars, to do those things, to do the business again? And this is just done so you can actually afford the stuff you want? Here's what I'll say. It's important for GTA to have a grind. I understand if it needs a grind, and I agree with that too. But why does it have to be so repetitive? The only fun things to grind are adversary modes and heists. That's it. Maybe you can count races, but races don't give you that much money. Those are like the few things that are fun to grind in this game. Everything else, you're just buying supplies, getting supplies, selling the supplies, buying upgrades. There is nothing. If you really want to boil down all the resupply missions in GTA 5, here, I'll give it to you in a couple steps. Get in vehicle. Drive to place. Kill people at said place. Grab item at said place. And come back to your property while being shot at. That's it. Sure, some resupply missions might have slight variations, but they're all rather the same. Go to thing, grab thing, kill people, come back. Speaking of which, as players, we need something more to do with our weapons and cars rather than just to do business. And ultimately, what can we do with those? We're just gonna grind with our weapons and cars so that we can buy more weapons and cars? I don't think so. I want to do something else. I think that money-making methods in this game should be more fun, have more of a variety, so that we can enjoy all the work that has been put into these separate jobs. Tell me, when is the last time, for money, that you've done a race? But, I hear you say, what about adversary modes? What about them? Even when it's 3 times the money? 3 times the RP? You don't even make that much money. Within, what, an hour, you can make $120,000? Does that sound like good money to you? If you're just starting out in the game, that sounds like great money. That sounds like amazing money. But to people who are experienced and seasoned in the game, why would you want to do these fun missions when they don't even pay out well? Who's going to grind 3 hours for 360K? You could get more money doing the casino heist. I think that this idea I'm about to share to you guys is a pretty good one, and I think it should be integrated into GTA Online. I believe that certain unlocks or items should be relegated to challenges or game modes. Take, for example, the gun running DLC. What if you could try out the alternate ammo types in an LTM deathmatch? Then make the mode payout high Hi, Rockstar, and add vehicles so that the armor piercing and the FMJ rounds actually serve a real purpose. I'm gonna be honest with you, Rockstar, not many people use FMJ and armor piercing rounds in free mode, or in any missions, really. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But have you seen anybody in free mode use any of the alternating ammo types besides incendiary and explosive rounds? Whenever you see someone in game, it should feel a sign of respect, of prestige, when you see somebody in free mode with explosive rounds. No, what we see is that they either grinded for days or he just got lucky. You know, Rockstar needs more fun game modes to keep the player base engaged. We don't need this boring, repetitive tasks. We need something fun, we need something fresh to expand the player base. We can't just have the player base only come when there's updates. There needs to be a consistent trend.
Okay, guys, so okay, so I'm sure, as you guys can tell, I've called you in for something that's very important, okay? I need your best input. People, critics of this game have been calling this game toxic. Now, this is a problem, okay? We need a strong community. This is a problem. Do you guys have any solutions, any ideas at all, in the slightest? Please, I need your guys' suggestions.
And at the right hand I stand. I've climbed up the food chain.
Boss, how could you say that? I mean, I don't know how we could stop it. It's the nature of the game, and people like that.
I really am the only saving grace for this company.
Okay, come on, you've got to have an idea here. I mean, like, you got us here in the first place, so, I mean, you gotta have some way to stop it. Okay, don't worry. I have an idea. Okay, well, shoot, I can't take much more of this. Well, if you can't beat them, join them. Give them fuel. Give them fuel. What are you saying, man? What do you mean, join them? This is the problem. We can't join the problem. What do you seek to gain from this, man? I don't understand. Like, okay, just let me know. Just let me know. What is it? What is it? Why don't we just add more weapons and vehicles and make them expensive? Just like we did the last time. Remember? The cycle. This time, we'll make them even more expensive. So they'll have to buy shark cards, of course. Wouldn't this just divide the community more? I mean, I can't see how this would solve our problem. Don't worry, we got this. You're overcomplicating it too much. I mean, hey, we are Rockstar Games after all.
I have all these points, but not a solid potential motivation. I really can't comprehend why they do all these things to their game. What do they seek to gain? That's the $100 question right now, and I just don't know. I don't know, maybe I'm looking at this at the wrong angle or whatever, but I think I must analyze this further. There's no way. Shark cards. Almost all of the problems that I have mentioned before have been a result of trying to exponentially increase shark card sales. That is their number one goal. Their goal was to increase shark card sales from the very beginning. There has to be an explanation to why so many vehicles are inflated. Rockstar's game philosophy went from making an enjoyable and fun game to make a grindy game, forcing players to buy shark cards. Rockstar's goal the whole time was to make GTA 5 intentionally grindy, creating businesses that lock behind vehicles and weapons, thus incentivizing and forcing the player to buy them to stay ahead of the curve. Rockstar has made over $344 million. Some people might defend Rockstar, but I think that they can release DLC without making items, vehicles, and weapons so outrageously priced. Speaking on the topic of how much money they made from GTA 5, honestly, GTA 6 is screwed. With the same people who are in power now, who think of making more money, not being pro-consumer. The sky is the limit. GTA 6 is already done. Do not be hyped for GTA 6, because I'm telling you, when they release that game, it's going to be even worse than GTA 5. I don't think people understand how successful GTA 5 was. It made them over $6 billion. I repeat that again, $6 billion. That is over several times. I'm talking at least like 6 times what they put into the game. There is a specific reason for this.
You got it? Okay, cool. I don't know. Call the guy, say something, keep him quiet. Shit! Don't worry. I've got a plan. Don't ask me how I got this number. This is what you wanted, right? Somebody to talk to? I'll tell you where we can meet up. How much money would it take to have you remove that video? I could give you anything. You think I could be bought out? No, this information needs to be spread. That sort of information is going to affect us financially. My job is very important. I'll give you anything. Okay, fine. I'll name my price. $10,000. And I need you to admit to every single thing in the video. I'm sorry, it's just personal. Okay, you got me. I admit to everything. Alright? Wait, what's in your pocket? Is there a problem
Hey guys, what's up? Forgive me if I sound dead inside. It's just that this video took a very long time to produce. So if you don't mind, can you please like this video and subscribe to my channel? I don't have anything else really much to say, but I'm gonna show you some clips of me fucking up the skits. But rather than that, I'd like to thank you so much for watching this video. And yeah, see you later.
Okay. How much do you want? Like, why the fuck are you smiling?
You can't run in that fucking suit, eh?
What?
You can't run in that fucking suit.
Oh yeah, it's so restricting, man. Okay, stop. Who the hell are you? Get out of my office right now! There. Shit! Don't worry. I've got a plan. Yeah, there you go.
So stupid.
Don't worry. I've got a plan.